You're watching the moment two cave divers make a critical navigation mistake. And if you didn't catch it, that's okay because neither did we, until it was time to exit. Let's rewind to the beginning and I'll explain. Today, we're diving Twin Caves. Located in Mariana, Florida, it's only a short boat ride from Cave Adventurers. It was my first time here and I was diving with my friend Doug, who you'll see more of in upcoming adventures. In fact, my next video covers our 4.5-hour dive at Jackson Blue. Subscribe and get notified because you don't want to miss that one. Now the entry to this cave is pretty straightforward and easy. And at the back of the cavern, we find a perfect spot to clip off our oxygen cylinders. We do that just in case we need to bail off of our rebreathers and incur some decompression obligation on the way back. It's much more efficient to decompress on oxygen than it is our bailout gas, which is just 32% nitrox. Okay, we're passing the stop sign and entering the cave. And after reviewing the footage, I realized there were a lot more catfish in this area than I remembered during the dive. People always ask me what I see in caves, and towards the entrance, yep, catfish are definitely a common one. Ready to see something neat? We're about to enter a part of the cave called the subway tunnel. The naming is spot on, and in some parts it really looks like we're just swimming through a carved out mine tunnel or something. This is the first time I've seen something like this continue on for so long in a cave. And I could have cut all of this footage out, but I thought it'd be pretty neat to time-lapse it and just show you how far this tunnel really goes. By the way, our destination for this dive is a little place at the end called the terminal room. And while we're making our way there, I'll give you a little more context to the navigational error that we make here in just a minute. You've probably heard me say this before, but one of the cardinal rules of cave diving is always maintaining a continuous line back to the surface. But what we learned on this dive was it doesn't just mean having a continuous line, it also means being aware of the continuous line. Now we're approaching our first navigational decision, and Doug will put what's called a cookie marking the direction we came from on the line. Here we descend to the bottom and continue following the gold line until we reach a point where we're going to make a jump. And in case you're not aware, a jump is simply where we're going to connect two lines in a cave with one of our own. Here I've waited for Doug to tie his jump line in, and once he gives me the signal, I'll swim across and catch up. So from a navigational perspective, this cave seems relatively straightforward to me. We've made one turn and one jump, and the line seems to be in places that's pretty easy to follow, so you can see both of our lights tracking the gold line the whole time, and I really didn't have any problem with where we were at. But now I want you to pay attention to this line that we cross. And more importantly, where our lights are shining when we cross it. Doug goes over the line, then I do, and then you see Doug's light shine on the gold line right here. So he knows where it's at, I know where it's at, and all's good, right? Let's rewind that. Right here in the shadow is a T. We totally missed it. So now we have a navigational decision that we not only didn't know about, but we didn't mark. And while that may not seem like a big deal right now, just imagine, you and your buddy are having a great dive and then turn around to head back. But along the way, you encounter an area of low or even zero visibility. You think to yourself, no big deal. I'll just put my hand around the line and keep swimming until we get back to clear water. But then imagine right in the middle of this area, your hand runs directly into another intersecting line with no marker indicating which way leads to the exit. That is why it's important. So from here on out, I'll be a lot more attentive to where that line's going. All right, we're past that and have finally made it to the terminal room. Roughly 1,800 feet from the entrance and about 40 minutes into the dive. Now there's not much to the room really, but Doug notices a little canyon off to the left, so we take a look. That's interesting. A T to the right, and the line continues straight for it looks like a few feet. I swam forward to see where it goes, but the line is tied off and it doesn't look like a place where a diver can fit. I turned around to the T and notice it has an old survey tag on it. I asked Doug if he wants to check it out, and he agrees, so off we go. The line here continues on for maybe 30 or 40 feet and then makes a left turn going down. After descending a little bit, I see the line comes to an area where it looks like it might go a little further. This time when I cross the line, I quickly realize it dead ends in there. So Doug and I turn around to head back. And it's not too long before we reach the intersection that we didn't know was there. After a brief acknowledgement of our mistake, I ask if he's okay with checking out where it leads, and off we go again. So this time with a little more caution. As I enter the tunnel, I use my hands to gently pull myself along and keep my fins high and motionless to try and preserve visibility for Doug. Unfortunately, the cave changes shape slightly and I have to start finning again, but I do my best to keep it clear for him. We continue on through the tunnel for a few minutes until I come to a point where I can't tell if the next turn is going to neck down and get smaller or not. By the way, the tunnel on the left there is where we came from and the right is where we were heading. So I figured at this point it's better to turn around where I know we have plenty of room than to venture forward into the unknown and potentially have to reverse awkwardly back. So I signaled to Doug and we turned the dive. Also at this point my camera housing is starting to fog, which for you makes the visibility look even worse. It already wasn't great though. And you know what, there was something that popped into my mind right as we're heading back through this tunnel and the visibility drops a little bit. I thought, I'm really glad we know about that intersection and we've marked the way back. If you've enjoyed this, subscribe and stay tuned because our next adventure is even better.